Hey Russell fam, in today's video we are going to do a flip through of My Father's World Exploration to 1850. Be back in just a second. Hi, my name is Becky. I am a homeschooling mom of two and I've been homeschooling since 2012. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We are so glad you are here. We also have a blog, which is russellslovinglife.com. There I give you lots of tips and tricks and things I have learned of all of my years of homeschooling. If you are a returning Russell fam, we are so glad you are back. I have been using My Father's World since Bailey was in kindergarten. So this is going to be our 7th year of using My Father's World, and I love it. It's an all-in-one curriculum. If you have tried My Father's World and it doesn't work for you or hasn't worked for you, go to Russell's Loving Life /curriculums. There you will find a lot of other all-in-one curriculums plus some other curriculums that you may find helpful. But in this video today, we are going to show you the exploration to the 1850s. Here is the flip through of exploration to the 1850s. This is the My Father's World Teacher's Guide. And it tells you week by week what you're going to be doing on each one of them here on the table of contents. And this is just kind of an overview of what's going on. And the reason I love My Father's World is it tells you about the spelling and English and all that kind of stuff that's in here. This is why I love My Father's World. Because it breaks it down for me and it keeps me organized. It tells me week 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It has 5 days here. We only do a 4-day week, so I have to double up on some of this stuff through here. But it tells me for Bible, we're going to do this, spelling, which we have spelling, English, and here's the history. It says we're going to use the American history. So we find that book, which is, let me find it. The American history book. And it says we're going to page 3. So we're going to find page 3. And then here's the chapter on Leif Erikson that we're going to read about. So that's what it's telling us to do with history. And then we have a timeline, our notebook, and a map activity. And this is where it tells us about our science. So that is why I love My Father's World so much. It breaks it down for me and already has everything planned. And it tells me what I need to do for preparation. It tells me what materials I'm going to need for the week. And then you flip it over. And then it's broken down by days. Monday, here is what you do. And so you just read this. And sometimes it'll say, read this to your, or say this to your child. And so it just breaks everything down for you. And here, note, if you're teaching this to a 2nd and 3rd grader, you do certain things, but if you're teaching it for older grades, it'll tell you to do something else. And so My Father's World tries to make the history broken down, history and science, so you can teach multiple grades at the exact same time. Now, for the student sheets, this is what it includes. It includes notebook pages with state sheets and maps, the state birds and flower cards, state stickers, and timeline pieces. And every year, My Father's World gives you a timeline. Here's Bailey's notebook that I've taken all of his student sheets and I put 3-hole punch in them just so I can keep up with it. And so if we look right here, it is going to tell us week 1. So that's what we're going to do on week 1. And then it tells us week 1, M is Monday. So it means we're going to use this sheet on Monday. And for the botany and zoology, see, week 1, Monday. So we're talking about creation again. And it just goes on like that through all of the weeks. Let me find you a state sheet. They started, okay. We'll just find, first one I flipped to was New Jersey. So here is what we're learning about the state of New Jersey. You flip it over and it tells you all kinds of interesting facts and everything that you need to know in the history about New Jersey. And then we flip over here to this little notebook. I didn't 3-hole punch this, but I did put it in a pocket folder. Here's all the flags that we're going to use that we'll put on our sheets. When I said the state and bird flashcards, here's what they look like. So you can use them kind of like your multiplication, addition, subtraction cards. Just pop them up and say, okay, what is the bird of Alabama? Well, there you go. It's going to tell you that it's the yellowhammer. So there's that. And when we talk about the timeline pieces, here are the timeline pieces. We have a board that, a 3-trifold board, kind of like a science project board that I've been using. And all we do is once we talk about something, we cut it out and we add it to that timeline and we just keep it going. So from the beginning of creation until where we are now, we have timelines for that. And like I said, I just put it all in a 3-ring notebook and I pull it out when they need it and I add it to whatever folder it's going to be, whether it's going to be science or history. I put it in there. And let's see, there's the teacher's manual. You've seen the student guides. And let's see, here is the last 100 years. The last 500 years. Can't talk either. And here is where we're talking about early settlers in America. I just love all the pretty pictures in here. And here's writing a state report. So Bailey's going to have to do lots of research to fill in all of this. And building a city on a hill. This goes along with our history. George Washington's world. It's just black and white and just tells us stories. So it's not quite as boring. This is part of our Bible. Boy, Have I Got Problems. And it's just a book for the children to read. And parents can read it along with them if they want to and fill in questions and that type stuff. And then the other part of our Bible is In God We Trust. Stories of Faith in American History. And here we're talking about John Quincy Adams. It just talks about different parts of history. My Father's World is Charlotte Mason based, so that's why we have lots of literature books. Here's Exploring American History. I showed you that one a second ago. But there's chapters. And then we have Story of the World, which we used volume 2 last year, and I loved it. It makes it it makes the history into a story that makes it more interesting, I think. And these flashcards are awesome. I had them out earlier looking at them. They go from our first president. Okay, well, Bailey mixed them up on me. We go from our first president, George Washington. Here we go. First president, all the way to our 45th president, right here. And then it just has different little cards here to read. So you can drill your kids on which president was what number, and here's facts about each president. So I thought that was really interesting. And then I love Apologia Science. Here is the botany version of it. And I just love the colorful pictures and all the fun activities that they have in here. If you've never used Apologia, you've got to check it out. They have all kinds of fun. Last year was astronomy is what we used. Here's Guide to God's Animals. Just lots of pictures and colors. And Becca will be doing this science along with the history with us as well. She won't necessarily be doing the worksheets and things, but she'll be listening as I do read alouds and talking about the different states and things. So there you go. There is the flip through of My Father's World Exploration to the 1850s. I hope you have found this video to be helpful, to be informative. I hope it has helped you see the curriculum like you want. If it hasn't answered all of your questions, drop me a comment down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about the curriculum. I will also leave a link down in the description box below if you want to find out more about it, or if you want to order your own curriculum. As always, remember to be kind, be careful, be considerate, and have a great day. Bye.